Everybody, welcome back. Today's featured magazine review is Guitar for the Practicing Musician. This is the premiere episode, the premiere magazine edition, January of 1984, featuring the legendary Quiet Riot with Kevin Dubrow and Carlos Cavazos. We have a lot to cover, and again, when we get to the sheet music, we're going to blow right by it, but I'll hold it up just long enough for you guys to do a screenshot if you want to
what's your
on any
problem?
of the sheet music and tablature that they have. All right, I'm Tony. You're here at KGTR. We're going to go page by page on a vintage guitar magazine that you all love and requested. This is from Guitar for the Practicing Musician, January 1984. Heavy metal is in full swing. You got Def Leppard, you got Motley Crue, you got Quiet Riot, opening up for bands like Scorpions, Kiss, Van Halen, Judas Priest, and on and on. The US Festival just happened in 1983. This is now 1984. And Mental Health, Pyromania, Shout at the Devil is like cranking out the charts. And then you have up and coming bands like Rat about to come out and explode. Dokken with their second LP coming out with Tooth and Nail sometime in 84. In 1984, you're going to have Van Halen's Jump, 1984 album, come out. 84 was a great year, magically for metal. So let's go ahead now and check out this magazine, page by page, to see what was happening. And when we get into the Kevin Dubrow, Carlos Cavazos interview, we're going to open her up and read some of the excerpts from that interview so you get a feel of what they were experiencing, the questions they were being asked in January of 1984. It's a doozy, so thank you for joining me. Click subscribe, hit that notification bell. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Right? You're here at the Headbangers Hideout at KGTR. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Wait a minute, there's no birthday party for me here.
Alright, so here we are. We're at the cover. Look at this awesome cover. You got Kevin Dubrow. Look at these colors. Black pants. And look at everybody back in the guitar. I know George Lynch was wearing red jeans in 83. And here's Carlos Cavazos wearing red jeans. Black little coat right there. These guys are at the top of the game right now. It's because of Mental Health. Heavy metal exploded. You had hard rock bands like Van Halen, but you had heavy metal with Quiet Riot. Look at this guitar. I don't know what this guitar is. If any of you guys know what this guitar is, let me know. I love it. I wouldn't mind having this guitar right now. Look at this. Isn't this guitar sweet? This guitar is sweet. I can't see that. I can't see up here. But this guitar is sweet. So I wonder if they just gave him a guitar for the photo shoot, or if this is one of his guitars. Alright, so look what we have here. Quiet Riot, Kevin Dubrow, and Carlos Cavazos. Right here in the January 1984 edition. This magazine back in 84 costed you $2.75. Very inexpensive, reasonable for a magazine, because you got all your information on upcoming bands, tour dates, the latest buzz and happenings, and because this is a guitar magazine, you have here a lot of sheet music. Look, you get $12 of sheet music in this magazine. You got Mental Health. You're going to have Run for Cover. You Better Run for Cover. That's also Quiet Riot. You got White Wedding by Billy Idol. Nights Out. And then you got Europe. I think Europe. I can read that. With bass lines. Alright, so we're going to open her up. And let's see what this issue had in store for us back in 1984. Let's open her up. Alright, look. So we open her up. And look, we got Get Bookin'. Proteus Rocks. So these are some books on these latest bands. Queen, The Police, Duran Duran, Black Sabbath, AC/DC. Pretty cool, right? What else? Again, this guitar company, G&L, was advertising a lot with Guitar for the Practicing Musician. This is, I think, now the fourth magazine that I've reviewed of Guitar for the Practicing Musician that has an ad on the second page. G&L with the Cavalier. So they're really trying to push this Cavalier. Look, double humbucker, it's slanted. Again, I commented. Obviously, the shape of the guitar, totally fine. But this headstock right here looks awfully chunky. It doesn't look right. This is too big for this guitar body. It needs like a Fender Stratocaster or a beak or a hockey stick headstock. This is too chunky and ugly. And then this round, and then this rounded pickguard right here, I don't care for it. This rounded pickguard with the slanted pickups, I don't care for this guitar. Does it play nice? I'm sure it does, but there it is. The all new humbucking pickups, offset and slanted. I don't care for that. So maybe they're trying to copy Eddie Van Halen, but who knows? All right, let's see what's next. All right, guitar. This is your index. Look at this, January '84. So if you guys are as old as I am or older, where were you in 1984 January? Brand new year, heavy metal's in full swing. 1983 was awesome for MTV metal. Again, Quiet Riot, Def Leppard, and Motley Crue were in heavy airplay on MTV, as thus all the other bands followed. This is like the beginning. This is before hair metal. This is heavy metal. And so let's see what's happening in January of '84. All right, look, Tusk guitar giveaway. I never heard of Tusk back then. Maybe some of you have. But here's a Tusk amp, a little practice amp right there with a Tusk DF 5012 amplifier. So this probably has a 112-inch speaker right here, and you win it. Just basically submit it, enter your name, address, and you get a chance to win this this little amplifier. Not bad, but I never heard of Tusk. Maybe you have. All right, again, your standard letters to the editor, from the editor, and then they read people's comments and so forth. Again, here's part of the index. Give them a few good licks. This guitar right here, I think it's a Steinbrenner, or Stein, whatever you call it. Eddie Van Halen is playing that in '84, I think. All right, play it like it is. Play it like it is. So if you want to learn accuracy in sheet music, so back then, obviously before YouTube, right? There's no internet in 1984. Wasn't even developed or conceived. But look at this. Look, this is sheet music. You would go to your guitar store, or you would go to like a Tower Records, where they sell tons of magazines, and then they may have these sheet musics for your favorite artists and bands. There you go. All right, look at Sammy Hagar. Look, this is Sammy Hagar. I don't know if he was already in no, he wasn't with Van Halen yet, because remember, Jump 1984 came out obviously in '84. So here's Sammy Hagar flying solo. So little did he know back then, I'm going to be tapped into being in the biggest rock band of all time, Van Halen. But he didn't know that then. So he was doing 1, 2, 3 lockbox. That's all I remember. And I Can't Drive 55. Those are his two biggest hits, unless he has another hit that I'm not aware of. 1, 2, 3 lockbox. I hated that song. I thought it was a stupid song. But I liked the video because I loved the guitar that he was playing. It was a Super Strat. And I had a single humbucker pickup. I forgot what color it was, yellow or red. But 1, 2, 3 lockbox. Again, I hated the damn song in the video, but I liked the guitar in it, so that's why I liked Sammy Hagar, just in that damn guitar. And it was an awesome guitar. So there you go. And then you had I Can't Drive 55. All right, here we go. Graham Parker, mainstream, pretty good singer-songwriter right there. All right, look, again. So these are the tablatures. So again, you learn these chords right here. Again, you can do a screenshot right there if you want to do a screenshot. This is for White Wedding Part 1, as recorded by Billy Idol. So here you go. Take a screen grab. These are the sheet music for White Wedding. All right, take another screen grab. I'm going to go by these pretty quickly so that you can take a screen grab if you want these tabs. And you don't have to read sheet music. Some people comment, I can't read sheet music, but I can read it. I can read a chord tablature. So we have the fingering chord picture on the, like right here, look. Let's see, right here. Anyone can learn this. Here's the fretboard, and it tells you the chords and the fingering right there. So wherever you see these names, when you're over here, that's where you play it. All right, so that's easy. That's as far as I can read. So I can read those little chord positionings. Again, there's page 3 right there of the song. Take a snapshot. See right here, these are the chords. So once you learn the chords, then this is where you insert your chords and change and so forth. So there you go. Again, this is still White Wedding. We're going to blow by it. Again, take a snapshot if you want to. There you go. Play it like it is, White Wedding. So here they're breaking down how the song is developed, forms, and so that's pretty good. Tells you what you're playing. Again, here now here's the same song, but these are the bass lines. That's what made this guitar magazine pretty good. You not only got sheet music and tabs, but you also had bass lines for various songs. So you did get a lot of free bonus material with Guitar for the Practicing Musician, as opposed to other guitar magazines that had, maybe 1 or 2 songs, but this one gives you like what, $12, $13 worth of songs, according to them. Alright, so there's more for the bass lines. You want to take a screen grab? Again, you want to take a screen grab? I'm letting you know when to take a screen grab, so you don't say, oh, you went too fast. Alright, so there you go. If you're interested. So, again, this is T-Bone Walker. He was the bass player for Hall & Oates. I just remember him from the videos. He had his own article, She Blinded Me with Science. So he basically breaks down bass lines and the bass guitar. Again, so here's a little article, or his little instructions and tell you the fingering and the theory behind it. Alright, Open Ears. This is the column that was given to Steve Morse monthly. So there he is right there. Another brilliant guitar player. And there's still his article right there. What else? Alright, Rory Gallagher. Underrated guitar player, but he's very good. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Not that he's in the same league or class, but he had his own distinct style. I believe he played with Telecasters and Stratocasters. But Rory Gallagher, give him a listen to. So he's pretty good. On the Radio, interview with Peter Gabriel. So Peter Gordon. I'm sorry, Peter Gordon from Nick Lowe. So this is good. Or Nick Lowe. There's a good article right there. Again, Graham Nash on songwriting by Bruce Pollock. That name sounds familiar, Bruce Pollock. Alright, look at this. Look at this guitar right there, Gibson. When you're ready for the spotlight, you're ready for a Gibson. That's a pretty good slogan, right? And look right there, see his trademark right there. When you're ready for the spotlight, you're ready for a Gibson. That's pretty clever, it's good. Look, but this is an ugly guitar. So this guitar right here, see the cursor? That's this guitar. This is ugly, I'm sorry. I know people like to create new designs and offsets, but this is ugly. Here's a Les Paul style. Here's another Les Paul style, probably a junior, I think. But this right here, I'm sure this does not sell well. So that's just my opinion. Alright, Guitar Secrets. So by Rick Derringer. If you don't know who Rick Derringer is, look him up on YouTube. Very good guitar player, underrated guitar player. Look, 2 separate channels, real channel switching, adjustable overdrive. The Rodian. Under $200. So this is a nice little practice amp right there. Look, isn't that pretty cool? Look, practice amps were all the rage back in the 80s. That magnificent man on the flying V, the legendary Michael Schenker. Look at this. 1 flying V, 2 flying V, 3 flying V. He gravitated to the white and black flying V. That was his signature guitar. And he didn't need anything flashy, but he was the most iconic guitar player with the flying V that I know of. And the kid can play. He was playing already, amazing solos at 16. Totally different style than Eddie Van Halen. I think there was an interview with him. He liked what Eddie did, but he didn't want to copy what Eddie did. So he kept his own style. And true to form. While a lot of people were copying Eddie with tapping, I don't recall this guy, Michael, doing any tapping or dive bombs and stuff like that. Matthias Jabs, yeah. But Michael Schenker, he did his own stuff. He had his own distinct sound, his own distinct playing. So when you hear him, you didn't think of Eddie. You didn't think of anybody else. You just thought, oh, that's Michael Schenker. So Michael Schenker, those guitar players are very hard to come by when you can have your own style and not borrow or copy other guitar players. But Eddie had all the tricks. Eddie came up with all the tricks, and sadly, unfortunately, it's catch-22. A lot of players borrowed and stole, then they overdid it, and then it became like a joke. All the tapping that was going on, and all the dive bombing. all because of Eddie. Alright, because everybody wanted to be like Eddie and play like Eddie. It was flashy. Alright, look. Lights Out. Awesome song by UFO. all the guitar parts of Michael Schenker. There you go. You learn all these chords right here, and then you can go ahead and play along with the song. So there you go. Take a screenshot. We'll go by this really fast. There you go, page 2. There you go, page 3. There you go, page 4. I wonder if they may give us some bass lines here. Page 5. This is still Lights Out. And page 6. Alright, so that was Lights Out. Alright, here's a nice article for Joan Jett Loves Rock and Roll Really. Alrighty. So if you like Joan Jett, she was still pretty big in 84. I love rock and roll. I think that came out in 80, 81. But she was still trying to compete in the hard rock genre. There she goes. Well, Run for Cover. I love that track. You better run for cover. Dun 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 dun. These are the chords from Carlos Cavazos, written by Kevin DuBrow and Carlos Cavazos. So Run for Cover is an awesome track off the first album, Mental Health. You'll love it. So there you go. There's some tabs right there. Okay, there's page 2. Page 3. So I'm obviously pausing it so you can take a screenshot. Page 4. Page 5. And page 6 of the song Run for Cover. Alright, so obviously because this is not open pages, this one I had to scan page by page, so I basically dismantled I dismantled my magazine, my guitar. I dismantled my magazines to preserve them by scanning them digitally to prolong them. Otherwise, you can keep them in plastic covers, but then every time you take them out, they may fall apart, the staples fall apart, or they get crinkled. It's like, you know what? It's just a magazine, but if I can preserve it digitally, it's worth it. So here's here's the left side of it. And there's the second side. So let's go ahead. This is an interview. We're going to breeze through this quickly, but I wanted to show you what they were saying here. So if you come over here, I can move it later. All right. We can read that. Let's see. Here we go. So I spoke with Kevin DuBrow about their chosen path. Okay. What's the difference between American and British heavy metal? There isn't any American heavy metal on record because it's not very commercial. Look how long, see my cursor? Look how long it's taken for Iron Maiden to reach the top because of lack of a single. There are kids who love all these riffs thrown together. I can't understand their attraction to it. I personally prefer songs that are under 4 minutes. Too many riffs gets monotonous to me. Judas Priest do it the best. Alright, Carlos Cavazos. American hard rock is heavy music with a good hook like Van Halen or Quiet Riot. Kevin DuBrow. Heavy metal borders on punk. It's almost like there's no song structure to it at all. Let me see if I can zoom in here. There we go. Where are we at? Motorhead is heavy metal. Hard rock hopefully can be good songs played with a lot of balls. That's how we go about it. Carlos. As far as guitar playing, heavy metal is a bunch of fast licks. Hard rock is more toned down and usually more melodic. So, but they were heavy metal, but I guess they consider themselves hard rock. Who knows? It's more in the songwriting. Kevin. We took advantage of the term heavy metal for our album when we titled the album Mental Health. I loved it. One of the best metal albums of all time. We knew that heavy metal was coming back. We wanted to make a hard rock album that would sell to a lot of people. If it was truly a heavy metal album, it would be a cult status. It would be cult status, which it is, which it does, and it is. We're not interested in being cult anything. If you're a cult, that means you're poor. We have no intention of being poor. We're here to communicate with the large masses of people. All right? How do you account for the success of mental health? Good timing. Let's see if I can get back up there. Maybe cut off from the screen, sorry. Good timing. Hard rock songs. The songs close enough to heavy metal for the crowd. They're catching up with the broader audience. Are you riding the crest of Def Leppard and Iron Maiden? And then Kevin goes, I think AC/DC set it up for all of us. I don't think Van Halen set it up for anybody. because if they did, Carlos's band Snow. Remember Carlos before Quiet Riot? He was in his own band Snow in 1979. So he was doing the clubs with the Boys and George Lynch and all that during that time. Remember Randy Rhoads got signed 79 to go to Ozzy, but Carlos Cavazos was playing the club circuits in a band called Snow, and George Lynch was with Exciter and the Boys back in 79 trying to get signed before Dokken. So there they are. So according to Kevin Dubrow, I don't think Van Halen set it up for anybody, because if they did, Carlos's band Snow and Quiet Riot would have been signed in 79. So think about it. If Van Halen paved the way for a lot of bands, they would have been signed a lot earlier. Instead, Quiet Riot, the new Quiet Riot with Carlos, they were signed later, and they became bigger later. This is 84. This should have been signed in 79, right? But they weren't. Same with Snow. They should have been signed. The Boys and Exciter should have been signed. Van Halen did do nothing for these bands, according to Kevin Dubrow. AC/DC is the band that brought acceptance for hard rock. And then Carlos goes, they stuck to their guns and made a big audience for it. They didn't change their style for the radio. And then Kevin goes, Def Leppard opened up the airwaves. Remember? Photograph. That's what I'm saying. Def Leppard, Quiet Riot, and Motley Crue opened up the airwaves for bands to get their foot in the wall. If they got a lot of phone-ins on the radio, that's going to be the next best thing. No radio play, no record sales. Our record made it because of all those elements. And luck, of course. Our luck and timing has been incredible. You cannot predict what's happening to us. You can only hope for it. The last time this happened was with Van Halen's first album. Remember when that album came out? He's basically saying that album blew up. It's like it came out of nowhere. Here's Metal Health in 1983, and it just blew up. It came out of nowhere at the right time, right place, and that's where heavy metal, it was everywhere. Metal Health. Let's see. The last time this happened was with Van Halen's first album. Let me see if I can shrink this. Let's see, am I there? Let's see. Oh, let's go back here. There we go. So the last thing that's happened was with Van Halen's first album. That's what's happening to us. We're going to go gold within 3 weeks. That never happens. So see, that's why Quiet Riot, Def Leppard, with the help of MTV, obviously, right? Because you're exposed. Millions of people throughout the country were exposed through MTV of these videos and the clothes and the guitars and the fashions and so forth that heavy metal took off. That's pretty cool right there, isn't it? And then it goes on and on and on, but it talks about Carlos's influences with classical music, not so much the flashy stuff, but he's more influenced by classical music than all his peers. So he wasn't like listening to a Randy Rhoads or Eddie Van Halen to play his stuff. He was more into the 70s blues players for his style. Not that he didn't copy, and he did say he copied, but he wanted to incorporate his own style. So look, Quiet Riot was hungry in 1983, just like Rat was in 84, and same with Dokken and so forth. So this article is a great article. You want me to blow it up? I can blow it up for you, and then I can share it with you. But there it is. If you want to take a screenshot, right, I'll go back right there. So here's the interview. So if you want to take a screenshot, you can. There it is again on the second page of the interview. And then there's the third page of the interview right there. And look, Bang Your Head, Mental Health. It was called Mental Health, but there you go. These are the chords for Mental Health. These are the tabs. So there you go. There's the second page. You want to take screenshots? So it's interesting, back in 84, this is January, so maybe they were interviewed in 83. So this magazine came out in January of 84. So most likely these guys were interviewed sometime in December of 83, right, to get into publication for 84. So Mental Health came out in 83. They just played the US Festival in 83, and they blew up. And I'm glad they blew up, because I remember everybody in my high school just turning up the radios in the parking lots, boom boxes, people's garages, in their cars, playing Mental Health. There's the other page of it. And And same with photograph and because of the video. And then you start looking at guitars and guitar players and guitar graphics and so forth. Again, here's more of the interview. There's Rudy Sarzo, Quiet Riot. And it's a great article. Let me know if you want me to get into more of this interview. And I can do a separate video on just the interview where I can plaster these, I can blow it up so that you can read for yourself if you want to. I'll be happy to. So if there's any particular, moving forward, any of these magazines where I just gloss over an interview and I say, okay, you can read it for yourself, I'll be happy to hold it up or blow it up and make a little separate video of these interviews so that you guys can screenshot it and do that if you want to. Again, a lot of these magazines you can find on eBay. You just have to shell out, anywhere from $7.95 used to $14, $25, depending on what you want to buy. But all these magazines that I'm reviewing, more than likely you can find them used on eBay. And people like to recycle and sell stuff. So eBay is great to find old stuff. Someone's garbage is someone's treasure. Not that this is garbage, but again, look at more Michael Schenker. This is the continuation of that Michael Schenker interview. So if you'd like to see what he was thinking about in 1984 via this interview, let me know. I'd be more than happy to. Right now, I'm just basically going through the pictures and the magazine to show you what was in this edition. So some people may go out and look for this edition for the interview, for Kevin Dubrow, for Carlos Cavazos. But again, anything that you want me to repost, I'd be happy to do that. So if there's a specific interview you want, tell me and I'll just go ahead and make a quick little video of it and I'll just put down on the title. By popular request, here's the interview from this magazine with Eddie Van Halen and George Lynch. And then you guys can read it. So let me know if you guys would like that also as a little segment. Alright, so here's more of the interview with Michael Schenker. Here's the advertisements for Navy Wireless. More Michael Schenker. So this magazine, even though you had Quiet Riot and Kevin Dubrow, you have a lot of here. You have a good interview here with Michael Schenker. Alright, look at this. Obviously, this is a BC Rich, right? Look at this BC, look, the Warlock. The Warlock. This is. I like this. I mean, it's kind of menacing, but it's an awesome shape. For 1984, this was good. Look at this right here. Look. What's this called? The ADN A4, I think it is. Look at this. So here's the Ampeg amp. And then right here you have a dual. What is it called? Let me see if I can blow it up here. Here we go. Delta Lab. So look. I just blew it up for you. So here's a Delta Lab announces the introduction of the Effectron 2. Alright, and this sells for $2.99 to $4.99. There you go. Put it back in frame for you. There you go. So here's a nice little rack mount right there. Let me know if you would have used it, if you ever heard of it. So not bad. Look at this guitar. Okay, I don't like this guitar right here. It looks like a toilet. It looks like a toilet seat. You know, the long oblong toilet seat. That's what this reminds me of. Oh, there's a guitar that Mick Jones from the Rolling Stones played in the mid-60s. It looks like a damn toilet seat. I don't know who makes that guitar. I have to look it up. But you'll see it. Type in Mick Jones guitar, and it's like a round toilet seat. I'm glad no one's making that or no one has that. It looks like a damn toilet seat. You may as well go to Home Depot. Go to Home Depot. So it's already pre-cut, right? Someone should go out there and buy an oblong toilet seat, route it out for the pickups and the wiring and so forth, and there you go. Slap on a neck to the toilet seat. Look right here. See, here's the Super Strat. Everything here about this is nice, but this headstock is ugly. Look at these flying bees right here. Look at these flying bees. Well, who is this? Let's see who this is. Let's see. All right, over here you have a Washburn. So these are Washburn guitars right there. So maybe the other guitar that he had in the cover, when I go back to it, it's probably a Washburn. Right. And what else is here? Here's a Boss plug and play right there. This guitar's ugly right there. Let's get out of frame. There we go. All right, on the case. Again, more miscellaneous article, guitar questions. So any questions you have right there, submit your questions, he'll answer it. Plug in. Here's a tuner, another tuner right there. So before pedal boards, you had to buy a separate tuner. Now some pedal boards have their own tuner. Vinyl Buzz, so they're going over the latest albums here. So Corey Hatch, Nils Lofgren, Asia, Cheap Trick. So there's that. Midline, again, more albums here. Video by Bruce Pollack, the latest videos. The best in home video rocks. The Doors tribute. Live at the Hammersmith, Odeon, Kate Bush. So again, this is during the bootleg era. Everyone had bootlegs. Not that this is a bootleg, but not bad, huh? Right, so there's Europa from Santana. There's the here's the chorus for Europa. I'll hold it up for a little bit. Give me time to take a snapshot. If you're interested. Otherwise, I would just click by really fast. But again, nice article here on the soulfulness of Santana. Carlos Santana is still around, still playing. Again, no one plays like him. He has his own style. Nothing flashy, nothing technical, but it's all feel. That's why he holds his own. And to this day, no one plays like Carlos Santana. He wasn't like not great of a guitar player, but he's very expressive. He plays with a lot of feeling, a lot of sustain, and when he plays guitar, the guitar speaks to you. It's not all flashy runs and arpeggios or sweeps or tapping. It doesn't do any of that. Just melodic bends and licks and nice phrasing. So Carlos Santana is another underrated guitar player, which he should get a lot more credit because the dude can play. It's just not going to be technical, but he's really good. All right, again, look, Touch of Class. I hear more on Carlos Santana. Joan Jett, a continuation of that article with Joan Jett. Look at her. She was great with I Love Rock and Roll. All right, now for those of you who are like, oh, I can't read music. Oh, you can't read. Tablature explanation. This right here, right? You can take a screenshot. It shows you exactly how to read the sheet music. Right here. It tells you the notes that they're using and the abbreviations and so forth if you really want to get into beginning musical theory. All right? Again, album by album. Lists. These are the lists of 1984. Coming next month. So they're going to have Jeff Beck here. I don't know who that is. So let's see who that is. Let me blow that up. Jeff Beck, Iron Maiden, and Donald Fagen with words and music. So they're already telling you what the next issue is going to be right there. All right. What's next? I believe this is the back of the magazine. Look at Eddie Van Halen. You're only getting half a magazine. Isn't that cool? All right. And there is. That was the last of it. So come back to the beginning cover. And there you have it. That was Guitar for the Practicing Musician, January 1984, the very first edition of the year. Now that I think about it, I think this is a Washburn. Let me blow this up. All right, I'm going to blow it up, see what it looks like. But I can't get over there. That's out of frame. This is a Washburn. This has to be a Washburn. So that right here is a cool Washburn. Look at this bridge right here. Yeah, this is like a Washburn bridge. So, what do you think about this Washburn? I like it. Double cutaway. And this is a nice guitar. I wouldn't mind having this guitar. This is nice. Alright, so that was it. Hope you enjoyed this issue of Guitar for the Practicing Musician. Again, in the future, if there's any particular sheet music that you want me just to upload, as opposed to reviewing the whole magazine, hey Tony, give me the sheet music for this Carlos Santana track. I'll make a quick little video with the sheet music on the screen. Make it like a little 2-3 minute video so that you can do a screen grab or copy it or download it, whatever, and then have the sheet music. That's the best way I can do it. Here you go. Because it's already there. And it tells you how to read the chords and how the song goes. It's got the lyrics. And I can do that for you for free because I'm going by fast. But if you want a little video on any particular sheet music, let me know. I'll be happy to do it. All right. Any questions, comments, or feedback, leave them below. Let me know if you've seen this magazine, remember this magazine. Let me know what you thought about what Quiet Riot, Kevin DuBrow, and Carlos Cavazo were saying. That Eddie Van Halen didn't do nothing for these bands, because some bands just have that magic and they get signed and they take off. Quiet Riot was paying their dues. Snow was paying their dues. Doc and the Rat were paying their dues, but they weren't getting signed until they were at the right place, the right time. Everything just falls into place, luck, and they take off. And that's what happens. That's what Kevin DuBrow is basically saying, that AC/DC paved the way for them with hard rock music, but they incorporated some metal into it, and just the timing of it, they got picked up. And why was Quiet Riot picked up before Docket? Why did Quiet Riot get picked up before Rat? You know, they were both playing the clubs at the same time, but Quiet Riot got signed because of their hit, Metal Health. What was the other one? Come On, Feel the Noise. You know, and then just like rock anthems. Boom, but come on, feel the noise. You know, the yelling and getting the crowd together, and it was awesome. Great time. All right, I'm Tony. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.